BC, hope everyone's doing well in these crazy times. What a year. I'm back today to do something a bit different, which I'm really excited about. I was asked a couple of weeks ago if I wanted to participate in the Blue Note 4000 series that's going around the VC. I've seen a handful of them. I haven't seen all of them, but Rob over at Soundstrange has been sort of orchestrating this project with a few others of showing every record in the Blue Note series and reaching around the globe and different parts of the VC to see who can pull it together and show each album and just briefly talk about them. So I was asked to do one, which is very exciting. I had to refresh my memory and look through the 4000 series to remember what was in the series. I do luckily have this amazing Blue Note book here, which actually almost goes through sequentially every album release and talks about them in the order. So what I did pick is this wonderful album here, Freddie Hubbard Hubtones. As you can probably see already, I have the matching t-shirt. So as soon as I saw that was upcoming, I jumped on it straight away because I am a big fan of this album. I've talked about it a few times in the VC before. I think it's excellent. If you don't know Blue Note, I think this is probably one of the albums. It's just accessible but interesting. It just has a classic Blue Note sound. For me, it's my favorite time period of Blue Note. The albums just before this and after this are pretty classic. I mean, what else is in the series? What else comes up here? Just after that, these are, there's some really amazing, God, look at that, see, you know what I mean? For me, my favorite Blue Notes will come around this time. So, see, what number is that? 140. So yeah, there's some pretty special Blue Note records come around this time. It was a really rich time, really creative time for the musicians. This album came out in October. It was recorded in October '62, obviously at Van Gelder Studios in New Jersey, and it came out in December of the same year. Everyone at this point is all super young, super excited. I'm pretty sure Freddie Hubbard was, set sort of 18, 19. Hebby Hancock on here was 22 at the time. That could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this is a really powerful, creative, exciting album. It's accessible, but also quite complex. Freddie Hubbard is obviously very influenced by Lee Morgan here. He just sounds so explosive. But what I like is just a really interesting lineup at this point. And someone that I think is really underrated is James Spalding. Now, at this time, he was doing some stuff with early Sun Ra, and then he moved and did a whole bunch of stuff on later Blue Note releases. But this was one of the first ones where he switched and did some stuff in a Blue Note Van Gelder setting. And he plays alto sax on here, and he does an amazing flute piece, which I'll get to in a few moments. Hebby Hancock, obviously, at this point was in his prime, but I think he was doing some really fantastic stuff. Obviously, Reggie Workman, we know what happened with him. Amazing. And then Clifford Jarvis, I have to admit, on the drums, I know little to next to nothing about, but I really should check it out. But yeah, as a lineup, I think there's some really nice mix of players on here. As a cover, it is a absolutely fantastic, almost, for me, in terms of an album cover, from a graphic design point of view, this is absolutely perfect. I love this whole drop of the black, which almost alludes to dropping a note or dropping a key. Just the red, black and white combination, and just this really nice touch of having him red here is just absolutely beautiful. It's easily one of my favorite Blue Note covers, which is fantastic. This is a Japanese pressing, I think, from the mid-70s. It's in absolutely fantastic shape. I would like to get the Music Matters press of it, or even I'm hoping that Tone Poet decide to do a version of this too. That would be fantastic. But yeah, this is one of my favorites. I think it's just immediately accessible, immediately powerful. It sounds really lively. Yeah, I really like it. It's hard to explain. You know what it's like with jazz, and specifically Blue Note jazz. It's quite hard to describe that sound or how it sounds different. Um, in saying that, it's all very powerful and exciting, and everything cooks and stuff like that. My favorite track is actually a quieter piece on here, and it's the first track on side 2, and that's called Lament for Booker, which is obviously a tribute to Booker Irvin, who passed away. I think it was almost a year before the recording, and it starts with this wonderful flute by James Spalding, and it has this really wonderful flute feeling. It's like almost like a ballad, but it's just a really, really beautiful track. It's kind of slow and knows how to pace itself. I think it's absolutely wonderful. For me, when I first heard it, I kind of had... Do you know when like a Blue Note track is just so beautiful? I'm not going to say it brings tears to your eyes, but it's just so pleasant and beautiful and powerful to your ears. You feel emotional. I mean, I had the same feeling the first time I heard My Funny Valentine by Miles Davis. Just the emotion in it was really special. So for me, that is a highlight of the album, even though it's not, I guess stereotypical is not the right word, of the album itself. The rest of the tracks are definitely a lot more upbeat, just some really kick-ass bass playing going on. Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, the one track that stands out for being slower is my favorite. Yeah, it's a really special album. I think if you're well into jazz, you'll know this or have this, but it's definitely something that I treasure and I love, and I'm really excited to do a little bit of a short showcase on it. So yeah, clearly I'm a fan. I'm wearing a t-shirt, I've got the book, I've got the record here. I haven't heard every Freddie Hubbard album because there's so many, but for me, this one is my favorite by far. And then maybe Red Clay, which came out a lot later on CTI. Yeah, that's a hard call. I shouldn't have even said that because I'll probably change my mind. But yeah, there we go. I hope that was exciting. I hope that maybe inspired you to check it out if you don't know it already. Personally, one of my favorite Blue Notes. There we go. All right, guys, keep an eye out for future Blue Note 4000 series videos. There's a few members doing them. I may be able to contribute more down the line. We will see. Thank you. Cheers.